George,
Yeah.
the left guard spot, I think it was on the depth chart. You had Bo Stevens there. How's that working? I know Tyler Ellsbury saw some time last year.
Yeah, Bo's running with the ones right now, doing a tremendous job. He's consistent, every day, way more consistent. Growing up, you kind of see kind of before your eyes there, and he's doing a good job. He's been practicing well. And then you got Ellsbury, you can swing in there too. So there's some guys coming in behind. Leighton Jones is showing some promising things at guard also, and so yeah, Bo's been getting most of the 1 reps.
Do you see DeYoung as more guard, tackle? He's kind of played everywhere for you.
He has, and he's a huge asset right now. He's playing mostly tackle right now. He had a really good spring at tackle, kind of coming into his own, playing confident, playing aggressive. We're trying to keep him on the edge. We can always move him inside, but we're trying to keep him on the edge as much as possible right now.
How beneficial is it to have like a DeYoung and an Ellsbury that can play multiple positions from the reserve?
Oh, it's huge. It takes away sleepless nights in the hotel the night before the game. When you have guys that have that pedigree and understanding of the offense and just experience, it's can't really describe it, but very valuable.
What do you see from Kate Pieper? I understand he's maybe working at center a little bit.
He is.
Camp, and
Yeah.
what have you seen from him?
Yeah, about halfway through spring, he was working at guard. He was working at guard last year. About halfway through, Leighton Jones was working at center. And about halfway through spring, we just flipped them because they're too young, going to be redshirt freshmen. And we flipped them, and we really like what we saw. So Peep has been working a ton of center right now with the twos, and he's doing a tremendous job. Every day's a new day for him, and he's getting better fast. He's a pretty talented kid.
When you got here, it seems like all these guys were babies, and now you've kind of been able to see them grow up. I think between the 7 guys that are probably looking to see time, like 233 games played, I guess, where are you at confidence-wise, maybe compared to last year or the year before with this group?
I think, the words confidence, admiration, respect, that group and myself have been through it all, and started when they were young, and they got thrown into the mix. One guy got thrown into the mix as a sophomore walk-on starting, another guy got thrown in the mix as a redshirt freshman starting, another guy got, 2 others got thrown in the mix as redshirt freshmen having to start. And we always talked about not flinching. We always talked about stay the course. This isn't the time to panic back in 21 or 22. And that's easy for an adult to say. I've been through this type of rebuild, 5 out of 6 jobs. So I've seen this. I know what it smells like. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. So that's why I've never really wavered from the plan. I don't get affected much by the outside noise, but just because my experiences. Well, those kids, it was their first time going through it. So I have a ton of respect for those guys, and just to see them grow through everything. We were talking in 22 about, hey, this is going to be really good for you guys. Maybe not right now, but there's going to come a day where the tide turns a little bit and it starts taking off. And we started seeing some signs of it last year, and we're really starting to see some signs of it this year.
How is this unit synced up with a new offense?
That's a good question. Probably the last, during spring they're getting a feel for it, of what Coach Lester wants, the pace of play, the angles. There's definitely some differences there. They started to pick up on a little bit in the spring. During summer work they were able to do some film evaluation to kind of catch up a little bit. They start fall camp. Probably about 2 or 3 practices ago, you could really start seeing some things click and the pace of play pick up. When you see that pace of play pick up, it means exactly what you're saying. There's a cohesiveness, and they're on the same page. And I think we're really just starting to kind of feel that traction. It's a good feeling.
You mentioned some of the signs that things are moving forward, that they're really showing their experience. What are some of those signs?
Consistency, response to a bad play. You don't get as many ebbs and flows. It's really cool right now because that senior group, basically the 5 plus 2 guys that are probably the top guys right now. You're just seeing way more understanding and way more physicality in their play, and things that used to bother them aren't bothering them anymore. You know, now you got the cool thing right now is we have that next tier of guys, which we haven't really had a next tier of guys for some time. We have that now with the Jack Dotzlers, the Trevor Lauk, Leighton Jones, Cade Pieper, that crew. You're starting to see those guys go through a little bit of ups and downs like the senior class did, but they're pushing fast. I mean, pushing real fast. So, but yeah, it's just those little things you see, you know, how they handle themselves on a daily basis, the professionalism in meetings, on the field, their competitiveness in practice. You know, the fundamentals are getting sharper, way sharper. Their understanding of the offense is good, so now they can pour a little bit more energy into the competitive piece, and now that's when you start clicking.
The standard offensive line in Iowa, if you can put into words, what's the expectation? What is the standard?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what, you know, when I got hired here in 2021, and I knew it was going to be a tough situation. We had a couple of seniors, and they were going to be gone, and there was 2 or 3 classes basically missing. So we had to go straight to freshmen. So the first thing you had to do is define the standard, and the second thing you had to do is define a plan in recruiting, because we couldn't miss anymore. You had to recruit, you had to retain, you had to develop. So when you define the standard here, it's maturity, which we didn't have that early, but we're still talking about it. We were on a race towards it. Physicality, pride, but that's been I've been pretty laser lock focused since I've gotten here. You know, that's all I think about every day is what does KF want his room to look like. Anytime I talk to recruit, that's what I think of. I don't get caught up in stars and rankings and stuff like that. I'm talking about fit. Guys that fit this program and fit what our head coach wants and fits how this program works. And the standard, you just feel it. You feel it every day here, and that's a good thing, because if you can't feel the standard, there isn't a standard. So, but yeah, that's a good question.